So, Reed, you can't get on Black Mountain and look at this. This is
Well,
what Chris
I
sends to
don't think
you.
you would even, you're probably not even aware that you have a fairgrounds capital improvement.
He just goes by what Chris sends
Yeah,
him.
yeah. So you're looking at this correctly, saying, well, they're gonna pay William, and they're gonna spend some money for the fair, and they're gonna spend 23 grand. And,
Right, but I get what you're saying, now, that's like your fixed costs, and then, but I just don't, so,
I know you're smart enough to understand this, so I'm not trying to,
no, but the wording on it is weird, because when I think of appropriations, I'm thinking of like yearly appropriations.
Well,
You're
it-
including the carried over cash as an
Yeah.
appropriation.
it is an appropriation.
But it goes-
Fairgrounds has been appropriated officially for 79,000.
Just because there's one giant fund of
One
like all the
giant
money.
fund
Okay.
that we know, and the way, and basically, when you add up your appropriation, your budgeted cash reserve, you got 105 grand there, right?
Yeah,
This is, your total requirements need to equal your total resources, and then between your
Right.
cash, and that's why that comes up that way. But that's why this number is, okay, I really only need this much for
Yeah.
what I know about, but this much is for capital improvement. See, and the reason this is such a, is they had that 80 grand
yeah,
for the roof, so that was like 3 or 4 years ago, right?
That was after the 2018
Yeah, yeah.
hailstorm.
If this money had been moved, you would be only appropriating 23,000 for,
yeah, and I guess the difference, the thing that's hard for me to wrap my head around is like kind of the private versus public funding on it, like the way the appropriation works and all that, because it's like I said, that, because what you're saying, like year end, when you guys redo your budget, you can move this money. So that's what I mean, is like, I guess that's why you're saying it's also an appropriation, because technically, when you guys redo the budget, it all goes back in one pile, and then you kind of break it up again every year.
right. But in theory, when we actually set this budget, prior to that, we should have already moved that. And you would really only be appropriating the 23 grand.
Okay, because you were gonna move it into a capital
Yeah, right,
improvements
right.
fund, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Because if this is your fairgrounds operations fund, then you have your fixed, yeah, no, I get what you're saying, it's just. the
And
way
so
it's
when I'm
laid out-
talking about this maintenance
Well, the fair board
improvement,
used to get all the revenue.
I'm
from-
really talking
from the
about your
fairgrounds.
this is a
Let's be
2,000
careful.
account, there's a 4,000.
Talk to Ken.
Right, which is.
That's where you look
Back
at
when
how
they
much
were
money do I
active,
got
they
sitting
had
there, what,
$100,000 more in
for
there.
improvements and maintenance.
Oh, that's-
This is just for
They
operations.
had all them
Right, okay.
I'd be
going on in the
happy
fairgrounds, and they collected money.
to
and-
further, I know you can understand this, but it is, it's not to grab into it.
Yeah, and I've been bugging Chris about it too, it just, because I had to change just.
And so when you said 20-some thousand, I'm like, what? That's why.
Right, because that's what I see, I guess, but I also had to do an amendment on the extension budget for salary.
Okay,
So the original appropriation was 21,900 for salary, so on fund, extension fund account 110, the actual salary and wages. But I moved it up to around what I thought it would be, because Chris said that would be fine. I didn't have my,
okay.
So she's probably gonna do a budget amendment,
yeah,
or, yeah.
she will be doing one, and the cash is in the account, I think, so it should be fine, just so you guys know though. Okay, we'll get that figured out. We gotta get the fair board together.
Yeah, let's get to fair,
Yeah.
be thinking about what you wanna talk to them about. And then, that, we'll make that a productive.
So, that's my next one.
Because I got a lot to talk to them about,
Yeah. And
because
then,
of what Sean made us do down there.
All my fault, I take full responsibility.
this isn't really, doesn't need to be talked about, so I think this is just, I have my invoices to go to MSU now, so. Do you know how they used to do that to anybody? Did they pay it monthly, did they pay it in a lump sum?
For,
For the money that goes to MSU, your guys is part of my salary.
but Gary Lynn can look, once Gary Lynn has
Yeah,
a second, or I can try.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
remind us, okay?
So it'd be a claim, MSU would
Yeah, to MSU.
send us an invoice.
I know that
Yep.
for the part-time, or not part-time, but what we paid towards like Billy,
Yeah.
it was one lump sum. That was a lump sum
Yeah.
payment, $6,000. So I just saw it the other day.
But, well, so Billy is on the county salary. Golden Valley does a salary share of $6,000, which
Okay, maybe that's what it
I
was.
just put in,
Okay,
cause I did a claim for Golden Valley and got that and just put it in, but I actually work for MSU.
right.
And then you guys send MSU money and then they send me money. So that is the invoices I have here since we got the county agreements done.
Those go to
And,
MSU, right?
No.
yeah,
And then MSU will send us some.
I already have, so this is the invoices, and I have a master invoice.
So maybe just a claim? I don't know. We'll look into it, okay?
Look, but I don't know how we pay MSU, but I know we have a history of it,
Okay.
and I'm assuming they submit a claim monthly to us or something.
Monthly or quarterly or whatever, yep, yep.
And we pay.
I will look, I've got a star by that too. I will look.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
That's fine.
And you don't have access to Black Mountain, right?
I don't know if I want access.
Yeah, well, I have
have
access,
access.
but I don't have right ability.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
But sometimes it's nice to know you can go in there and see things, but it's usually winds up being more of a confusing exercise.
Yeah, I've been seeing so many things. Trying to get through the weed core manual and budget stuff. But no, that's good, you guys. I guess on the fairground stuff, the water and the electrical, we'll wait till we get to the board meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And talk about it there. And I don't really have anything else. Can I leave this, that invoice set for the salary for Tilly's?
Cause I'm gonna look first. I'm gonna look and see. If you wanna make copies,
I need to keep one of them, but I
Yeah.
have a master one. He sent me a master one in case we had to do it monthly.
okay.
That does the salary breakout.
Somewhere.
That's the payment schedule.
Well, then it must be
And this
monthly.
is the one for October. So that's the past one.
Okay. So we'll do October and November probably.
And I need to make copies, but not of those, of my master one, and I'll email that to you so you know what that looks like month to month.
Okay, and then I'll forward it to Gary Lynn, so I'll explain to her, because she's new at that too.
Yeah.
And I don't do claims, so I don't know really anything, but I know where to look.
But see, what I don't understand about it is, say if I get sick or something for a while, and I use my sick time and I take more time off, so my salary goes down, doesn't that need to be adjusted then?
That's through MSU.
Right, but you guys are still paying them the same amount.
But still, you have your sick time and your vacation time that you can use.
No, but say I used it all or something.
Oh, if you used it all.
I don't know. They just pop.
Well, that's, oh yeah, well, don't get sick.
Yeah, just don't do that.
Don't do that. Well,
No.
we're gonna have to cut your pay.
yeah,
But are you an hourly employee?
No.
You're a salaried employee.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Does
right.
not matter.
Unless they
So-
fire me, which they can.
but you
They
also
can
have
fire you
to,
for getting sick.
but you also have to worry about if you don't, if you don't work enough to cover your insurance payment,
That's,
then you have to be concerned.
yeah, you have to, but
I don't think it's gonna happen. It was just something I thought about
Well, let's
because of
get it in a minute.
the multiple people that pay for my salary. Basically,
Right,
it was
I
like,
get
You are on probation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep a look at it. It sounds like you're planning a sickness. It sounds like you're.
I gotta write
Yeah.
that down.
well, I'm gonna be gone for 2 weeks in January. I'm going to Puerto Rico with Allison. That was said way before I got this job.
That's what you gonna do down
I
there?
don't think we
I'm
ever
gonna go
approved
fishing
that.
for marlin.
I don't think that was ever approved anyway.
Yeah, but he doesn't work for us.
I know, but
And Tracy, I told her about it when I got the job. I was like, just,
if we'd have known
I'm gonna
that
have to
during the
talk to you
interview.
about that.
yeah,
What's your
we
phone
wanna
number?
know that.
my phone 406-989 3182.
Puerto Rico, did you say? Where are you going?
It's going right on YouTube.
Never mind.
try not to give that to too many people.
I even can't get down to Puerto Rico. They want me
And
to
what
go.
is your bank account number?
Yeah.
Credit
I
card?
thought that as soon as I told him, I was like, oh no.
County Agent Reed Cooley.
Well, no, Allison was going with some friends and.
Was it Puerto Rico or where are you going?
Yeah, Puerto Rico.
Never been there. I heard it's a trash, it's a
Garbage.
It's a garbage.
It's a floating garbage island.
I think
Yep.
Gary Lynn lived down there, I think, for a while, either Puerto Rico or Costa Rica.
Emily's been
Yeah,
there
she
a couple
did.
times.
She lived in
All my
whatever
sisters.
town she lived
My
in.
sisters go all over. I mean, Emily's been to Italy a couple times, or Puerto Rico, and all this, and Allison and Hannah. And I finally decided to go on a trip with.
That sounds fun.
Alrighty.
Okay, thank you.
I'll let you get to your deal.
Thank you.
Reed, I'm not gonna get to this stuff today, okay, so it'll be next week.
That's fine.
Okay,
Don't worry about it.
good, thank
See
you.
you guys.
All right,
Thanks,
take
take care.
How's life?
Oh, I could have been under the weather for the week.
Really?
Yeah, I've got something going on with my intestines. It's just, finally went to the doctor yesterday. They called me last night, so they didn't know what was wrong.
Really?
Maybe you got diverticulitis or something.
It's not diverticulitis.
It's
I'm
stress.
well versed in diverticulitis.
Okay,
stress.
that's what I was just saying.
This is how it might be. So, had 2 individuals graduate last Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I missed. So, Mr. Christian Barber graduated from LEO, and Miss Tess Martin graduated from Communications Officers training at the academy, and went to both graduations. Very nice. Very good deal. So I'm full staff as far as deputies go, and hopefully don't see anybody leaving anytime in the near future.
So you have a total of 9 now?
Me and 8.
Okay, 9 total.
9
Which is
total.
what you were planning,
Yep,
right?
yep.
And you got your SRO.
And that's being received very well at the schools, especially in Melstone. We had a deal yesterday, and it just happened that he was down there, and it just worked out perfect. So, yeah, so that's going really well. I think the SRO is probably a very positive program.
Good.
So I'm pleased with that. That's a good thing. We did have an individual accidentally shoot himself yesterday. There are some rumors on the street that, of course, he was shot, and it's blah blah blah. We conducted an investigation yesterday. Everything that we found was consistent with the story they were telling us. Just trust me when I say, I will say this: there was nobody else there, and the reason I know that is because they had just gravelled their driveway with road mix, and the tracks were so clear. I mean, it was obvious nobody else was there. It was him and her. And where we found the stuff, the way we found the stuff, he was working on the gun and he shot himself. So,
Where at?
south of town,
No, I mean,
in the lower left, and that was one of my, well, that's an odd shot. He's left-handed. Yeah, because he shot himself down low here.
Is he all right?
Well,
He's in the hospital?
shot.
Shot.
And I can't, we're recording, I can't say.
Understood.
I have a law that I talk about, and I can't even really,
What caliber?
a small one.
Yeah,
so it would have to be-
It wasn't a howitzer, it was a small caliber. So,
Is there a safety lesson to be learned from that?
people do it all the time. I mean, everybody and their brother, even well-trained professionals, shoot themselves when they are cleaning their guns. They forget to clear and safety it. I mean, or they clear it and forget that there's a mag in it with rounds in it. I don't know.
I had a nephew out at the shooting range out there who accidentally shot himself.
Yep. It happens all the time. People get lackadaisical with firearms, and so. Anyhow.
Shot himself in the leg.
Who did?
My brother, he had 22 behind his seat, he was pulling it out, and it went off, shot himself in the leg.
Yeah.
But it was, You got a Purple Heart.
Taken. I've seen even with these Glocks, so the Glocks have a safety on the trigger. They don't have a hammer or anything, they just have a trigger, and then there's a safety on it.
Yeah.
And it's really, they've shown, you can throw them on the ground, you can kick them around, you do all kinds of things, they won't go off. But I've seen where these vests that guys have, that have the bungee cord, little, and then they've got the little press thing on the end of the bungee cord. If you're holstering and that thing gets through there the right way, it will depress the safety and you'll pull the trigger and shoot yourself right down the leg. So, yeah, so. I guess the last thing is I'm going to talk to the county attorney. We have a female inmate, that has been here for a long time, and she's becoming very problematic. And her latest soiree was, and I'm gonna look into this whether or not it's even kosher, but she did this like 45-minute interview with a psychiatrist, and she was combative with we could hear it, you know, we were sitting right there, we had difficulties getting her on the tablet because the link that they sent wouldn't work on the tablet, so we had to use it on one of our cameras with a web camera. And so she was combative and everything, and ultimately he prescribed, and this was, there was like 4 forms and she tore up one of them, which was his form. And then he prescribes her medication, 30 tablets, $1,500. And wondering who's gonna pay for that, because I'm not really excited about paying for it, because my guess is, and this is, I'm gonna go talk to the county attorney about it, she's shown this already, she'll refuse to take them. So I'll spend $1,500 on meds, and then she'll refuse to take them.
What's her responsibility in that? She's the patient.
Absolutely, but she's incarcerated, so her medical care falls on this county. I'm gonna look at some different avenues.
Man, this is, God,
Yeah.
you can't make this stuff up. This is a crack I wouldn't have even thought of.
No, and it's, I mean, for the most part, I've got a hangnail, they go to the hospital, boom.
And you wind up paying that too.
Oh, yeah.
So you got a budget for a certain amount of that.
I do, yeah, it's about 20 grand, but $1,500 a month is gonna eat that up pretty quickly. Plus, she's been up to the hospital more than a cancer patient. She goes up there all the time.
So
And
what's,
she was federally incarcerated, so she's got a PhD in incarceration. She knows the ropes.
so knowing that, it almost makes you wish you wouldn't have arrested her, right?
We had to arrest
I
her.
know, but you get my point, that
We had to arrest her.
Well, does she have a court date or anything?
Well, she's messing around with her attorneys and this, that, and the other. No, she doesn't, I don't even know when it is. It's so far out, it doesn't even make any difference. She's the one that we took to Warm Springs.
Right.
so what do we do?
And, you know, Warm Springs' opinion was that she was faking it. That's why they kicked her out. So now this guy's on the video with her for 40 minutes and prescribes her, which
That's gonna happen.
I'm curious about it though.
No, I think getting Ben's thoughts on it,
Yeah.
because in my mind, if you're responsible for that,
I am.
and you get hit with 3 or 4 people that have the same thing going on, then you're gonna have to budget more,
I mean, I just.
which means we'd have to mill more. I mean, you know,
Oh, I don't even want to think about it. But no, this is an anomaly.
Okay.
Again, she is playing
yeah, it doesn't matter. It's
the
still gonna
fiddle
cost-
to the perfection.
It's still
She
gonna
knows
cost you money.
absolutely a lot of money. So I'm wondering if we can't make some arrangements to get her out of our jail
Yeah, that's,
on an ankle bracelet monitor or something. But anyhow, That's it, gentlemen, do you have anything for me?
No.
No, can't think of anything.
One more question I have, does anybody have any information? Obviously, the election went in the right direction across the board
Yeah.
for us, and I would suspect, but did they get their permit signed or anything? The mine?
Oh, no,
No,
that,
No, that's still pending.
you mean the federal?
you're talking about the Danes bill.
Well, the trade between Indian and,
Until you get this administration in place to put some pressure on the Bureau of Mines, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
They're gonna
so
sit
what's
there.
our mine?
Well, so right now, I guess, there's supposed to be a lame duck session where the Crow Revenue Act is gonna be brought up before the end of the year. I think the thinking is that it'll probably pass, and so the whole federal thing won't matter. Then the mine will be out from underneath having to get their permit, you know, to their.
So we're still in business.
Yeah, and now let's say that it doesn't pass the limits, then the mine is subject to the current rulings, and they need an EIS, and what Mike's saying is, that ship probably won't right itself for some
Until
time.
sometime in February or
Or,
March
you know,
of 25,
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Maybe even later than that, you know,
depending how long it takes them to get around to it.
but
There's gonna
I
be
haven't
some
followed up on when the actual session for the Crow Revenue Act is supposed to be. But Tester said that it would probably come up in a lame duck before the end of the year. This is before we found out, he didn't, you know, that he wasn't elected.
Yeah. Well, I would have grave concerns if they shut down.
Oh, yeah.
Because if they shut down, I don't know that they'll start back up.
Well,
But that's
I
an
wouldn't be
if, we
so,
don't know.
you have any idea how much coal is sitting in there?
Well, I know.
They said enough coal to mine for 20 years, I mean, 40 years.
Yeah, I know.
They're not, it's not gonna sit there. That coal's not gonna sit there.
Yeah. I hope so.
Well, you're right, but it's very disruptive, I think, you know, which, like, you know, our whole rub with the Crow Revenue Act is we lose our federal mineral royalties, but we'd rather lesser of evils, you know, still keep the mine going.
Yeah, because what if it shuts? So, and I think also that we need to watch what happens in Stillwater County
Yeah.
with their mine closing.
Yeah, you know, what's really interesting, I attended a Zoom meeting on that, we did, at last Friday, and there's all kinds of, they're stepping in to try and get, you know, they're training people, the
Right.
same old stuff, but then they were talking about money, having money to, they're got some smart people working on how to, cause that's gonna be a huge 700 people being laid off.
Well, not only do you take 700 people being laid off, you take 700 people out of their community working in their
Affecting the stores,
Yeah,
commerce,
the
and
gas
everything.
stations, to the hardware store, to the grocery store.
Exactly.
It's
So
gonna-
they got a lot of,
And it's not just 700 people, you times that by 3, it's 2,100 people.
yeah,
Because you figure there's a wife and a kid for every,
yeah.
Yeah.
or a husband and a kid for everyone that works there.
Mm-hmm.
And that would round out, so 2,100 people. 2,100 people spending money at the grocery store is gonna be significant.
But you know, kind of what I got out of it though, this is just me, is we'll work really hard to retrain you and help you find a good job.
Right, but
Yeah.
retrain you to find a good job, probably not in Stillwater County.
Well, yeah, and maybe not even in Montana.
Right.
I mean,
More than likely not.
but they talked about, most of these guys can transfer in the construction industry, there's huge need in Billings.
Right. Well, yeah, I know, sure.
But still, it's gonna be disruptive.
Oh, yeah. Be a little hard on them too, I mean, they've been down in the ground where it's 57 degrees year round,
Yeah.
come out and be exposed to the elements, that'd be sucky.
Yeah. I get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's two ways to go there. You can either be where it's extremely hot
Or extremely
or
cold.
very, kind of chilly.
Yeah, so.
For what it's worth, when I worked construction there, you didn't work a lot in the winter. It was, you know, weather dependent, which meant you didn't get paid.
Right. Which means you don't buy groceries at the grocery store.
So that's when you know, never mind.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess we'll just kind of wait and see. I feel more comfortable that the election went the way it did.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think the mine does too.
Gentlemen,
I just had one thing I wanted to share with you, kind of off the record.
Yeah, well, the mine can afford a hockey rink, they can afford it.
I'm thinking they're, yeah,
So why don't we put a hockey rink in Loudon?
or something, rink, yeah.
I mean, that's,
Good morning.
yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just printed it out. I didn't know if you
They,
had
they signed everything.
perfect.
I don't have it all done because I, you know,
Oh, cheat sheet.
Oh, cheat sheet, yeah. It's just the updated grant numbers and that I got, so. Try to print those out whenever I get new ones, so.
221 million?
Yeah.
Did I read that right?
Yep. That was the big buyout.
That's the big.
And then on the back is just kind of the local ones, so I try and break
Yeah.
them out by federal, state,
Yeah,
and
local
local.
ones, $8.98.
Get a cup of coffee.
Yeah, right.
It's 2 million, isn't it? It's not 221 million.
Yeah, 2 million.
Yeah.
2 million.
Oh, good lord.
This is all wrong.
All wrong, absolutely.
What the hell? This, are you gonna ask us for more money?
No, this is showing you
This
what
is
we
mine
brought
I
to
got.
you.
I know, but you're gonna say, see what we brought to you, and by the way,
No, because the best part is you guys already signed it and there's no local match at all.
Yeah.
Yep, so
do you
that,
wanna go through this?
no, I was just giving you guys for the
Our
update.
information.
So hang on, total federal is $3,886,476,
Yep, that's what our office has brought in.
and this is since when?
This is since I started
Which was?
in 2015 with that one-year gap.
All right, I'm being kind of, okay. And then state grants, 910,000, God almighty, this
I
is
don't know what this
excellent.
is. I don't know the answers to this.
Oh, I think that's where
Yeah,
that's me.
I do need a copy of those.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, this is why you guys have, you're progressive.
Mhm.
It is recognized and appreciated, and I might give you that half star back.
Yes. That was our hope. Well, you know, basically, I like showing this stuff even before. This isn't a political. This is just a Elon thing. How they are now creating that Department of Government Efficiency,
Oh, yeah.
and so as that starts trickling down throughout the next 4 years or whatever, showing that, you know, we're doing our job. We're keeping our keep.
Well,
So-
and also in the back of the mind, you know, we talked about needing to get a grant writer.
Mhm.
You know, this basically shows how critical this is for your budget, for you to do. And you know, when you talk about, you know, let's talk about the floodplain mitigation, all that, that's what this buyout is. These mitigations cost a lot of money.
Mhm.
And otherwise, you're gonna pay for it on the other end when you have a flood.
Yep.
You're gonna pay for it 6 times over.
Yep.
So, I'm really impressed, I'm really, you know, I know we have trouble keeping track of this accounting wise for you. Hopefully we'll get smarter on that, you know, but
The way we look at it is it's just kind of fun because it's job security then.
well, it is, I mean, if you hadn't shown this, we were already talking about it.
So, but anyway,
Excellent work.
good morning, everyone.
Good
Can you
morning.
give me a copy of that so I can put it in with my minutes and maybe even put it on the website?
Yeah. Although it's not in
We
dollars,
don't
it
want to
should.
give him credit too much.
You guys don't be thinking this means anything, man.
No, it doesn't mean anything at all.
4,832,000.
Did you guys get my email about, so that Headwaters deal?
Yeah, when was
The
that?
12th.
The 12th of what time?
December 12th.
They didn't say a time, they were just wondering if the 12th would work, and then
December 12th?
Yep.